Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Eric. Eric is from New Mexico in the USA. So let's see what Eric has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello, Eric. I'm very well. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Thank you so
Just
much. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
well, thanks for inviting me. I know it's been a while since we've been trying to connect, so thanks for putting up with my cancellations and all my rearranging everything.
It's okay. I'm glad. We meant to do the interview today. I think it meant to be today our interview for sure.
For sure.
So tell me, how's your morning going so far? Your day?
Super busy. I am so I was asked to join to help with Farmington Pride, which is the small town that I'm in right now. They haven't had one in the last couple of years, so just helping them get that going again. So setting up events for that. Also, since I moved here, there's been like there hasn't really been any LGBT resources in the area, so or even events. So I decided to create them. So I host a weekly LGBT book club. I also partner with one of the LGBT resource centers, Sasha's Rainbow of Hope here, and we together we host a LGBT movie night as well as a LGBT game night, which I'm getting ready to do this Saturday. So trying to create some spaces for people to share themselves authentically and have a good time.
Amazing. My goodness, you've been busy.
Super busy.
So tell me, where are you based right now? Which city?
I'm in Farmington, New Mexico. It's a little town in the Four Corners area. The Four Corners area is where Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona come together, and I'm about 20 miles from that monument.
Oh, I see. Interesting. And but where are you from originally?
Here actually, I just moved back here about a year ago. When I was in my 20s, I moved to San Francisco and then came back last year.
Oh my God, there's a lovely dog behind you. Who is that?
Oh, that would be Margot. She's my little Pomsky. She's probably paying attention to the cat on the couch. She'll probably start barking soon. Ignore her.
Oh, sweet, sweet. And tell me, what do you do for work, for living, Eric?
So I'm a project manager, primarily in the semiconductor industry. I've been doing that for about 13 years. I basically manage tool installs or anytime companies like Intel or Samsung want to upgrade their equipment, they'll bring me on board to facilitate the design and the construction and the set up the operations for it.
Amazing, very good. Right, so before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like to touch in a topic that you mentioned to me. So a few days ago, you just you are celebrating 1 year of being sober. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this journey so far.
Yeah, I completely spaced about that. I can't believe I didn't bring that up. Yeah, 2 days ago, I was 1 year sober. I'm a grateful recovering meth addict. That's actually why I came back out here to New Mexico. I was struggling with my addiction in California, and I think over the last year, I've realized that I think because I grew up Jehovah's Witness and super conservative, and also spent a long time in the closet. I didn't come out until I was like 24, and even though I came out, I still struggled with accepting myself for the way I was, and that came out in unhealthy ways throughout my adult life, and finally drugs became the answer, and so and that worked until it didn't, and I started having a whole bunch of health issues last year, and I couldn't bring myself to stop. So I brought myself out to New Mexico. I was having panic attacks like all the time, like I had even after I sobered up. So I had to get myself the mental check into some mental resources to get work with a psychiatrist to get on some medication to balance that out. Also to my anxiety had gotten so bad that I was having panic attacks. I was a little agoraphobic. Also, coming back here to this small conservative town that I ran away from, I mean, everywhere I looked, there's Trump flags everywhere. And so my gut reaction was like, I need to go back in the closet in order to keep myself safe, because I didn't want to, be a victim of a hate crime or something. And but at the same time, that was challenging because being a recovering addict, I have to be able to express myself, share what's on my mind, and really connect with other people. And so I was struggling with going to meetings here just because I didn't know how people were going to react to me sharing what I needed to share as a gay man in recovery. And but after 3 months of, I was 3 months sober, I started isolating my I was borderline agoraphobic, and I didn't want to let that fear overtake my life because of all the health problems I was going through. So I started pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I found a local LGBT meeting called Rainbow Recovery, and I started by going to that, and that little space gave me enough confidence to start expressing myself more, sharing myself more authentically, and that was like the first step for me. Then from there, I I think when I came back here, I was focused on how different this community is for me, and how and like I said, I was scared of how they were going to react to my truth. So, but I found that was limiting myself. Going back in the closet, hiding who I was not good for my own mental health, but also too for my recovery. So I started going to other meetings, which was difficult for, but I decided to be brave, and I actually shared it in my first meeting that I went to. I was like, look, I'm a gay man. I'm here in this conservative town. I'm scared to share what I need to share, but I need to share that. And that little bit of vulnerability that I was able to share with the group of people there, um, people don't have the same stories, but they could relate to the fact that, hiding addicts as a whole, we tend to hide ourselves. We're scared of how the world's gonna the world's gonna reject us. We're scared of any kind of I think any kind of real thing like that is just scary. And so with that, I found a lot of connection in those rooms, and I was able to balance out my addiction, and also too, I found that the more I shared myself vulnerably, the more authentic I was, the deeper the connections I had with people in those rooms. But like I said, the community here, the LGBT community doesn't really have a voice for that. And for that reason, I see a lot of addiction in our community here, just because there's not really a lot of acceptance for them here. And so I figured if I was struggling, that other members of our community were also struggling. So once I got some time under me, right around 6 months, and I was able to, have some strength, I decided to start creating some of those spaces that I talked about earlier. It started with the book club. And then I quickly found Sasha's Rainbow of Hope, who was able to start sponsoring some of my events. Like all my events are not for profit. They're completely meant for people addicts and non-addicts alike, to be able to express themselves authentically, find their voice, get past some of that shame that small communities like this kind of drive into us, and just really be yourself no matter where you're at. And so, and in doing that, I've connected with so many people, met so many friends, like people and also too, I get invited to a few weeks ago, I was invited to host a drag event here. And also too, like I said, I was invited to help participate in the Farmington Pride events coming up soon. Just things I didn't think were possible for myself. And I mean, a year ago, I was just freaking out alone in my house, scared. I had lost all my friends, or at least I felt that I had lost all my friends. And I was just here hiding out at my parents' house. Sorry, my other little puppy is crying here on the floor. Let me see. Come here, Rocket.
Let me see. Who's that?
Rocket. He's my nephew's dog.
Oh.
Say hello, Rocket. All right.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
So yeah, since then, like I said, I'm just reaching out in ways I can, in whatever way I can. For me, I think the biggest thing that changed last year is that I started building my sobriety on establishing connections with people. Just because as addicts, we tend to isolate and withdraw from people. And a lot of that came from like my social anxiety. I was scared to be myself because I spent so much time in the closet. So like being in recovery helped me find my voice, helped me to share myself authentically, seeing the connections I made with other people. And I want to share that with my community. And so in doing that, I created a group called Alphabet Mafia Presents. I partner with local nonprofits, LGBT nonprofits, to help them set up the resources that our community needs. Like for example, with Sasha's Rainbow of Hope, I work with them to set up some homeless resources for the community. There's some recovery resources there, some mental health resources, and we're looking at bringing some STI treatment and testing here for the HIV community. Just really pushing myself to see what else I can do, because at this point I've accomplished so much and I'm happy and grateful for what I've been able to do with my recovery.
Amazing. Oh my God. I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm so glad we are having this interview today because, it's like it's been 1 year that you've been kind of, going through this challenge. I'm sure it's a challenge as well to, to get sober. And I'm glad and well done that you are, getting yourself busy and helping other people as well. I think that's the best part when you are helping yourself, but at the same time as well, you're helping other people. And I think that's the best part as well. So thanks so much for sharing. Okay.
Thank you.
Amazing. Eric, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Okay, so this is my best friend. Okay, full of random fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, Eric, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Right, first question for you is, what will be your theme song if you had your own show?
Oof. I don't know. I feel like any kind of song always constantly changing depending on my mood. Oh my God, I don't even know how to think about this. Like I literally only have one song in my head right now because I'm trying to learn how to sing it. It's called Anyone by Demi Lovato.
Okay.
I just can really connect with the emotion in that song, and how she's just reaching out for help, and just desperate for that. But and I think my last year has just been that. So I would say at this moment, probably that song.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Eric. Next question is, I like this question. Are you a cat or a dog person? And if you could be an animal, which one that would be and why?
I think I'm more of a dog person just because they're more affectionate. Like my dog is my shadow. She follows me around everywhere. I just love how she bonded with me. And it was such an important part. I got her at such an important part of my life where I needed that companionship. And now she's clearly my dog. She has the same personality traits as me. She follows me around everywhere. When I leave, she gets depressed, which is kind of sad. So I try not to leave her for too long, but she's very much my dog. So I love that about her. I am debating about getting a cat just because she likes playing with them so much, because I want to get her a partner for when I go back to work full time. But I would say, yeah, I'm definitely more of a dog person. And in terms of what I would like to be, let's see. I say probably just a dog, just because they're so affectionate, they bond with people, and also they're so smart too. Like you can train them to do so many things, and also too, I guess they're always taking. I mean, the ones when they can find a good family, they're loved and taken care of. Unfortunately, there are people that don't take care of their animals very well, but I think for the most part, dogs are pretty good companion animals, which is exactly similar to my personality.
And growing up, did you always had pets like dogs?
Yeah, actually, we had a mix. Actually, we had ferrets for a little while, mostly dogs. And what else do they have? Oh, we had some parakeets and some cockatiels. In fact, if you go through our house right now, there's 5 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 parakeets. No, 2 cockatiels.
Wow. And do you have siblings as well, Eric, or the only child?
No, I'm the oldest of two siblings, and then I also have 2 half siblings as well. I have a younger brother, younger sister, and then 2 younger brothers.
I see. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next one, as you talk so open about, your journey as a sober man, tell me, when was the moment that you went like, okay, that's the last day that I'm gonna be in touch with drugs. Tell me, when was the moment? So did something happen, or that you went like, okay, that's it, now I'm gonna start my sober journey right now?
Um, I feel like I've had that moment several times, but of course, addiction is just cunning and it'll play a trick on you and you'll draw you back in. But I would say the last time, um, uh, I want to say about a month after I sobered up,
Hmm?
I decided it was going to be the last time just because of my addiction, I was having panic attacks every day for 30 days. Like I didn't know what the heck was going on. In fact, I would take my anxiety medication and I would have a panic attack. So it would freak me out. And
Wow.
that's never happened. Like in the past, when I've gone to sober up before, I would, if in 5 days I'm back to normal, everything's good, I'm bouncing back. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting older, or maybe it's the all the compounded fear of everything just happening, staying with my body for such a long period of time, because my body was telling me for a long time, you need to stop, you need to stop, you need to stop. And I kept pushing myself and pushing myself. So
Mhm.
I would say the consequences of my using are still very much evident in my body. I'm just
Mhm.
now healing and getting back to normal. So that moment, after being, I actually checked myself into a psych ward for after that 30 days of having a panic attack, not being able to figure out why it wouldn't stop. Like I had never been in that position in my life and it scared me. Like I didn't know if I had damaged my brain or what was going on, but I was just like, I'm done. I don't, this is not fun in any possible way. Like and anytime I've had a craving since then, my mind just jumps to how bad it is. I don't even have the romanticizing thought of, oh, this is going to be really fun. And so in my mind, it's this thing's going to be messed up. I'm going to have to be in recovery for another year, and my life's going to be on hold. And so I'm grateful. I'm sorry. I'm grateful that those thoughts exist now. I wish I didn't have to go through the struggle to get there, but like I said, I'm doing so much in my life right now that I wouldn't be who I am without it.
Absolutely. All right. Next question is, do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
Anyone that is living their lives to their fullest. Let's see who. You know what? I'll say my ex-husband. My ex-husband, his name's Anderson. He came out here from Brazil.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, he did.
I'm from Brazil. I'm originally from Brazil.
I figured with the accent. But yeah, we met about 10 years ago and he came out here for school, and we ended up started dating and we ended up getting married. And
Wow.
since then I've seen him, just the drive that he has. He takes care of himself, physically. He also he came out here to go to school, got all of his pilot licenses, and has worked for Horizon Air and now Alaska Airlines as a pilot. So just seeing the drive he has with him, I would say he's definitely, and what he's accomplished out here. I mean, he's living in LA right now. I mean, that's completely different from coming. He's come out here from Brazil and completely established himself. So he is definitely a role model for me in terms of like somebody that's definitely living their life to the fullest.
Amazing. Did you get to learn some Portuguese during your time together?
I don't think I think he gave up. Um, it was funny because so I don't speak Spanish. My mom does, but him and my mom, they would, he would speak to her in Portuguese and she would speak back to him in Spanish. They'd have full conversations and I would be completely oblivious to anything they were saying.
That's funny. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Eric from New Mexico. Next question is, who do you count the most for help?
Uh, Probably my mom. She I put her through a lot, but she's also gone through a lot. So she's always been very understanding, and accepting of me. So I mean, for example, like when I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, they don't really accept or condone people being gay. So and I got baptized in that religion when I was 13. So no, I knew that by acting on my sexuality that I was going to be losing my family, and that was a hard decision for me to make. Like nobody should have to feel like they're gonna have to lose their family just because they need to be themselves. And so, um, my mom, she tried sticking to her beliefs and tried not talking to you at the beginning. I think it lasted about a month. Um, but and it's been hard. I think in the beginning it was hard for her to see me as an out gay man. But she still loved me enough that she wanted to have a part of my life, so she to be a part of my life. And so she would talk to me, she would push her boundaries, and push her limits in terms of what she was comfortable with. And uh, over time, like throughout the years, I mean, she went from being a conservative Jehovah's Witness to accepting her gay son. And not only that, like accepting all my ex-husband when he was around, also all my friends, she's been super inviting to them. And now she actually helps me with the LGBT events and resource centers that I have that I'm working with right now. So in fact, we're trying to set up a P-Flag chapter here, and she's going to be one of the members of that. So
Wow. Saying that, what's the biggest similarity between both of you and the biggest difference?
biggest similarity. We're probably both very outgoing and very people person. Like my mom will go strike up a conversation with anybody at any point. She has zero shame. And I love that about her. She will reach out to everybody. And I think she just genuinely cares about people. And I think that's where I get that from, just because I see her, like when I was a kid, she would take in people off the streets all the time. I'd always sleep on the couch because of it, but she would always make sure somebody had a bed. And she still does that today. So I think that's probably the most similar I am to her. I would say most opposite. I would say I'm more adventurous than she is, just because I tend to try new things. I mean, I have to as an addict. If I don't try new things, then I'm going to be stuck in my head. And so, yeah, I would say that.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, when have you been the most happy?
Most happy. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go, I think I'm kind of split between two instances. There was a time in 2016, right before I found meth, and I was really working on myself. Like I was exercising, I was eating healthy, I was creating healthy relationships with people. I was getting, and I was connecting in my community, but then I found meth about 6 months later, and then it kind of ruined my life. But now I would say I take the knowledge that I have from that instance, I'm applying it to right now, and I feel like I'm doing so much more than I was back then, and it's not just superficial stuff. So I would say this moment coming up is probably going to be the happiest part of my life.
Saying that, Eric, when you think about yourself, the place where you are right now, tell me what's the best part of being Eric? What's the best part of being yourself?
So I genuinely care about people. I consider myself an empath. I not only just like I'm feeling people's emotions, I genuinely understand where they're at, and I try to understand where they're coming from. Like especially in this community, I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of people, conservative Trump supporters that have a definite, complete opposite view to who I am. But instead of me running away from them or shutting people out, I genuinely try to bridge the gap between my community and theirs. That's partially why I'm bringing PFLAG here, so that some of these LGBT youth here in the community can help their conservative parents understand them better. And because, I think because I feel how I tend to put myself in other people's shoes so much, it allows me to connect with people at a deeper level. And then also too, like I'm trying to help my community do the same thing, because so many of us right now, we see somebody with an opposing view and we want to cut them out of our life or cut them out because but realistically, people in small towns, they don't leave their small towns and they don't have the exposure to different minority groups. And so they don't know how to talk to people. So instead of me running away, I'm trying to practice a little empathy with people, try to see where they're coming, and see if we can find some common ground, because I know it exists.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next question. Before the next one, tell me about New Mexico states. What, in your opinion, the state stands out comparing with other states in the US? Tell me something interesting or unique about New Mexico state.
Okay, so New Mexico is known for its chili. So if you love Mexican food, we have our New Mexican variation. They grow in Hatch, New Mexico. There's a green chili. There's a chili called green chili or Hatch green chili. there's a green and red variety of that, and we use that to make our chilies. It just changes the flavor of a lot of it's a unique flavor, and they don't really export it. So like when I leave here, and I'm going back to California soon, and when I do, I usually have my mom ship me some red and green chili just so I can have it on a regular basis. So I would say the food is definitely the best reason to come to New Mexico. Um, Also, I guess living where I live right now, I mean, I live with Arizona so close there in the desert right there. I live basically in the desert right now, but just an hour away in Durango, Colorado, there's the mountains right there. So I have a view of that. And then also too, like Moab's a little bit away, and just seeing the different sceneries change in this area, I appreciate that as well.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then I guess in differing from other states, so New Mexico is a democratic state. It's they I appreciate they do have a lot of like politically they do have a lot of they push for like free schooling. They have a lot of programs for LGBT people, and so it's not super different from. I mean, I would say it is different from California where I come from, because California is like the super blue state, but I think I think that they at least have the right mentality to be able to come in and create the programs and resources to the minority groups that need them here.
I see. All right. Next question is, would you rather be invisible or be able to fly? And what would you do?
Invisible. Probably fly, just because I like traveling. Part of my recovery is connecting with nature and being able to travel around and see so much of the beautiful world that we inhabit. Would just create me to I feel like that would drive my spirituality to a different level.
And let's say you have the superpower of flying anywhere right now, right this moment. Where would you fly? Where would you go?
Where would I go? I'm kind of missing home, so I'd probably go back to San Francisco for a little bit to see my friends. I haven't been home in almost a year, and I was out there for 13 years, so that's home.
Oh, San Francisco, there for 13 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing. I had so many guests on the show from San Francisco, actually. A few guests. Yeah. Right. I have 3 questions left for you. Okay. Let's do it. Next question is, do you have a unique ability that you think no one has or you never met before?
Yeah, I think me being an empath I think it's more than the typical level than most people do. And part of that comes from trauma, but I think the real part of it comes from, I genuinely care about people. I think when I was a child, I had to look out for other people to safeguard myself. But as an adult, I think I genuinely try to put myself in other people's shoes and try to understand where they're coming from, and I try to get out of the notion that I know everything and see what I can learn from other people, because that for me allows me to make deeper connections, and that keeps me sober.
See, 2 questions left. Let's do it. But before the next question, so tell me a little bit about your journey in San Francisco. Tell me, when you think about the city, what do you miss the most?
It's so pretty there. There's spots that I used to go over near Sausalito to go hiking up around the bridge and take pictures. Just having the ocean there, as well as the mix of city life, but also the nature aspect of it. It's just naturally beautiful there. Everything was so close there. Like I could go out to the beach if I was having a bad day, I could go out to the beach or go for a hike somewhere and just take in the natural beauty of the surroundings, and it would completely change my mentality. So, and then also too, having spent such a long time there, I just knew everybody. So it was nice to just walk down the street and run into a friend.
I believe that San Francisco, it's easy to be gay, isn't it?
Oh, super easy. I mean, they have the Castro with all the bars, even recovery there. As soon as I sobered up there were so many LGBT meetings there that I could join and even just run into people that I knew and make my recovery that much easier. And which I think I took that for granted when I was there. So, which now that I'm here in this small town and our community is so small, I've had to fight tooth and nail to create spaces for myself and others, and just so I can make my recovery fun. But there, it's just everything's happening. It's like all at your fingertips. The only thing holding you back is you.
Amazing. Next question is, what do you think are the best traits for a person to have?
Best traits for a person to have. I think empathy, and just in general, just because too many people are self-centered in this world, and they think they know their why, or they get hurt, they think they know what's right, or they get caught up in their pain, and they get blind to the experience of other people. I think if we all could sit back and realistically feel or experience what another person is going through, we'd have better understanding of each other.
Totally agree, Eric. I think, for us to at least try to put ourselves in other people's shoes for a minute, for a moment, I think we would understand more about other people's journey as well. Sometimes, we are vulnerable. We go through stuff as well. We have down times, but sometimes if we realize that there are so many people out there maybe facing more challenge that we are, or maybe deeper negativity or anything that's happened in their lives, we would feel better. I think we'll feel a bit better at that, and we will understand more about people and about being compassionate about other people's journey as well. That's what I believe.
Yep. Agreed. And not just understanding, like I feel like we grow as a people through the experience, as people be through the experiences that we have. I mean, there's so many cultures out there, so many different life experiences out there. I don't know, the way I see it, I keep myself open to the experience of other people, because through those experiences I grow as a person. And I've never or if it's even a negative experience, I can then relate to what they're going, or understand where they're going through, and help them, and maybe help the person a little bit. So just really not shutting myself off, not judging people, just really accepting people the way they are.
Absolutely. Ready for the last one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question.
Okay.
But before the last question, Eric, people watch the interview right now. If maybe someone is going through, a challenging time with drugs, addiction, anything that, they are find themselves maybe lost, they find themselves that they cannot, get out of that, negativity or that difficult journey, what would be your best piece of advice?
So I think Yohan Ari, in his book called Chasing the Scream, put it best. He said, the opposite of addiction isn't sobriety, it's connection. And the reason I say that is because over the last 50 years, like, mankind has been putting more priority on things over people and relationships. They're more interested in the amount of space that they have, instead of actually genuinely bonding with people. But humans were created to bond with each other. That's why we seek mates. That's why we seek friends. But collectively, we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to. We've lost the ability to really connect with each other at a deeper level, because we're scared of sharing ourselves. We're scared of being vulnerable. And so I would say, go to a meeting, find whatever method of recovery helps you to find your voice, so that you can feel comfortable sharing yourself with others, and leave yourself open to the possibility of connecting at a deeper level with everybody, with people around you.
Amazing. Very good. Last question is, what are 3 fun facts about yourself?
3 fun facts. One, I really enjoy singing, and I've been singing since I was a kid.
Wow.
I'm trying to train my voice a little bit right now, so that I can start making some videos of myself and post those online, or even just create an outlet for me to sing, maybe in a choir or something later on. I'm thinking about joining the Gay Man's Chorus once I move maybe to San Diego. Let's see, other than that, I'm super creative. It comes out in different ways. Like right now, I know anything about construction, but I just helped my parents remodel one of their Airbnbs. I went in there, I installed some tile in the kitchen, in the bathroom. I've also started recently working with epoxy resin, refinishing furniture. And so I went through and redid the counters there. I basically remodeled the whole house, and it came out pretty good. I'll be posting pictures of that shortly on my Facebook. But let's see. What else? I would say the last thing about me is I'm really good at just learning things or figuring things out. Like whatever I set my mind to, I can accomplish it. Like I can have zero experience in anything, but if I have the drive to do it, I will go out, learn it, and I will do it well.
Amazing, very good. Right, not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Let's start with money.
Thanks.
Family.
Friends.
Love.
Hate.
Life.
Joy.
Sex.
Addiction.
That's the only addiction that you cannot go through, yeah?
Oh, I don't know about that. I am gay still.
Politics.
Oh, bad, I guess.
Religion.
Lies.
Fear.
Isolation.
Friendship.
Bonding.
Desire.
Lust.
Regret.
Sadness.
One word for wish.
Hope.
Success.
Joy.
Happiness.
Connection.
One word for San Francisco.
Good. Happiness.
One word for New Mexico.
Oh, dry.
USA.
Sad.
And the last one now, sober, being sober. One word.
Hope.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your lovely mom for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your mom, what is the most beautiful thing about Eric, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What should say?
I would say she would probably pick up on the fact that I tend to help other people so readily. And I think she's always going to tell me that I need to keep working on my recovery just because she saw how bad it got for me.
And if I would ask the same question to your best friend, would be the same answer?
Yeah, just because I help him as well. He's been there for me. I've been there for him. And again, I think he did threaten me at one point that he wasn't going to hang out with me if I kept using. So I'm glad he stuck around and we can support each other.
Amazing. Very good. Let's play now Eric in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
So, given all the interviews that you've done with the different groups of people, different personalities, is there any common themes or that you've seen through your conversations with people?
Good question, actually. I love the question. A common theme. Wow.
Sorry, that's that hard.
I love it. I love being the sport. I love when someone asks me the question that makes me think. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something now, Eric. The first thing that comes to my mind is, it's been so many people around the globe like that participate on the show. Actually, I'm going to reach next week 900 interviews. So it had been so many people, different countries, different nationalities, different backgrounds, different way of thinking. But if there is a theme, something that people always they kind of they talk about or they express themselves, it's about, they have this flag saying be yourself. There's something about people always pointing that out, through questions or through positivity message or something that's, any topics that we talk about, there's always something that people, they're going to point it out, or they're going to mention about, most of the people, about being yourself, expressing yourself the way you are. And I think that's something that's, I totally agree as well with that, and something that resonates with me, because I myself always point this out as well. I think sometimes, or most of the time, it's not easy to be ourselves, because of the society out there, because the world we live right now, because a lot of reasons. But I realize that even though people, they stands out and they say, you know what, be yourself, or try to be yourself the most you can, or the most of all the time, because it's the only way you can be strong and express the way you are, because there's no one like you. There's no one. We are all different. We have something that is unique about ourselves, and that's what people appreciate as well. Even though people, they don't know you, they don't know us very well, but they can see when we are being ourselves. So I don't know if I answer your question, but it's a theme. It's something that people always pointed out, regardless where they come from or their point of views are. But it's something that people always point out, is about being yourself. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did. In fact, and that actually, I mean, I can understand that completely, just because for the things that our communities have experienced. I mean, I think having hope is important, and being yourself, fighting against all the odds, and being yourself and standing up and having your voice is important. So I'm grateful that that's actually something shared within our community.
Totally. And as you're saying, and as I mentioned before as well, it's not, the world we live is not easy to be ourselves, to express ourselves the way we are, because as I said, so many reasons. But when we can express the way we are, we can be ourselves. I think people, as you are right now, living your authentic self, like the journey you are living right now, and work many projects, so many activities that you are doing right now, because with the community, LGBTQ plus community, it's amazing to see someone just having the time of their life, like going through a tough time, and now just coming up with so many ideas and so many ways of supporting communities. And I think that's what matters. And this is about being yourself. It's about you express the way you are and helping other people as well.
Yeah, so, absolutely. It all starts there. I mean, you can't save somebody else. You can't help somebody else if you don't help yourself first. So finding your voice is important.
Totally. Very well said. Did you enjoy the interview?
Oh, very much. I enjoyed all the dancing.
Thank you so much. Thanks again. And also congratulations on your 1 year celebration of being sober. And I'm sure people watching this interview, they're gonna appreciate as well. But as I said before, you never know, people, they might be facing something challenging, and see someone talking so open about it. It's just helping people out there. So thanks so much for being so open and sharing as well this this moment in your life. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. And if you don't feel confident enough to be yourself, then learn healthy ways to express yourself. That's important, because your voice matters. You matter. Everybody matters. And anybody that made you feel differently, just ignore those voices. Ignore the voices in your head. Keep pushing through, because we want to hear your story.
Absolutely. Eric, regards to your family, to your friends, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. All right?
Thanks. See you later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.